Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sam B right here with the Tune Up Show. Yes, sir, I'm back with another video. So look, I'm going to do this video. Been talking to some people and, how are us as parents, how are we raising these boys? Single mother, single father. You ask yourself, how are you raising your sons? The only reason why I ask about how are you raising your son, because, well, according to society, we see how the young girls are being raised. This is a society where the young woman, the young girl, is being more empowered on an everyday basis over the young man is. Why do I know that? Well, all you gotta do is turn on the TV. You can turn on any television show right now, from Oprah to The View to daytime talk shows to nighttime talk shows. They're talking about black girl magic. They're talking about, just the empowerment of women, more so the empowerment of black women. Now, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem a woman, an intelligent woman. Like I said in my last video, I have no problem with that. But when that intelligence and that empowerment is being used to step on the necks and to emasculate men of all ages, then no, I have to stand in front of that. Because see, that's not equality. It's not even first wave feminism. It's called a power shift. When you have to go out your way to lesser the other gender, the opposite gender, just to empower one gender. You have to emasculate the other gender. The other gender. And that should never be the case. But right now, 2022, I went back to a video that is about 7 years old. And it's called A Guy's Guide to Being a Feminist. Now, you already know what I'm about to say about this. That's why it brings me to this title: Men, do not raise your boys to be like this. And I'm going to go out my way to truly try to help men and young boys understand what feminism is. See, this society, what they try to formulate feminism, they try to disguise it as like some kind of civil rights movement. They try to disguise it as, oh, well, this is just for the woman to be able to choose who she wants to be with, choose this, choose that. No, it's not. Not entirely. But the true agenda of the feminism movement is to erupt and to instigate a power shift. That power shift coming from the male patriarch to a matriarch, which for the most part, they've already done that. I've already told you. Look up a woman named Elizabeth Cady Stanton, where she wrote the Declaration of the Woman's Independence, okay, which Frederick Douglass, another so-called freedom fighter, civil rights leader in that time, helped her bring that declaration to early Congress. Look it up. I've already brought it up. I already did my video on that, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But what I will say is that when it comes to feminism, feminism is not about a woman having a choice. It's about a power shift being shifted from a patriarch to a matriarch. That's what feminism is about. Feminism is the vehicle that's being used to emasculate our young men, especially our young black men. And that's why they have feminist college courses. And at least within the last 10 years, they've had it all throughout the high schools. So if you're a man and you're trying to find ways to raise your son in this society, feminism is not the right way to go. All right. Now, these boys that are supposedly declaring themselves as feminists, I'm just going to let them go ahead and talk about it. And I'm going to say my thing. And let's see where this goes.
My name is Brooke Abraha. I'm a senior at LREI, and I am a feminist.
I'm Russell. I'm 18.
And this school, LERI, it's a school in New York City, a very, very progressive school. I did my due diligence because I wanted to see exactly where the hell these kids are coming from. And it's from a very progressive school. It's been around apparently for the past 100 years. So for people to think that feminism just came out of nowhere, it came out in the sexual liberation movement within the 1960s. No, no. Feminism has been around for a very, very long time. Most likely, it's been around since Eve took a bite of that damn apple. Okay, that's how feminism has been around since the dawn of man. Okay, ever since the first woman stepped foot on this earth. That's how long feminism has been around. You have Jezebel. You have you got all the women of the Bible of ancient time. Antoinette, Marie Antoinette. Okay, all those early set on feminists. What you call Joan of Arc. Okay, she was used as a feminist tool. All right, so like I said, feminism just didn't come out of nowhere, and for this school to allow these boys to make this video declaring themselves as feminists, well, that just means that these boys obviously they may not even have male figures, male role models of substance, or most likely their fathers have extremely let them down. For them to be allowed, for their fathers, if they have any fathers that give a rat's ass about them, their fathers definitely let them down and failed them.
I'm in 12th grade.
I'm Max Freed. I'm in 12th grade. I'm 18.
My name is Noel Diggs. I'm a senior in high school.
My name is Cesar Sublencia. I'm in 12th grade.
I'm Nathaniel McGlure. I'm in 12th grade.
My name is Luis Rojas.
And if you look at their eyes, you can tell that they're looking at somebody in the back. I want to rewind that real fast. I'm starting to catch these things, these little eye twitches whenever I see videos like this.
In 12th grade.
I'm Max Freed. I'm in 12th grade. I'm 18.
My name is Noel Diggs.
See,
I'm a
especially
senior in
him
high
right
school.
there.
My name is Cesar.
And obviously, these boys are being prompted to do this for somehow maybe extra credit in their schoolwork, maybe able to some kind of perks or something. Look, nothing's ever done without some kind of coercion or some kind of promise or monetary gain or any kind of mutual benefit gain. All right. Movements like feminism, Black Lives Matter, they know that their ideological movement is not going to pass in most circles. So a lot of times that's why a lot of politicians have to get behind it. A lot of billionaires have to get behind it, and they have to somewhat place it on society for it to be some kind of idea other than the agenda that it's coming out with. All right.
Valencia. I'm in 12th grade.
I'm Nathaniel McGlure. I'm in 12th grade.
My name is Luis Rojas. I'm 16.
My name is Emmett Stagg. I'm 17 years old. I'm in 12th grade, and I'm a feminist.
I'm a feminist.
And I am a feminist.
I'm a feminist.
I'm a feminist.
What were your reasons for taking the feminist?
That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. And you know what? I'm starting to hear a lot of grown men say nut shit like this. All right. You got these little boys who most likely haven't even been with a woman yet, automatically siding with the most extreme liberal female movement out there, which is feminist. You got these boys that are in 11th, 10th, and 12th grade, probably haven't had their first sexual experience with a woman, but automatically they know that they're feminists. This sounds like indoctrination on a very, very high cult level. That's what this sounds like. This whole LREI school in New York, which makes sense because New York is one of the most progressive moving states in the country right now, probably right alongside with California. So it doesn't surprise me, boys coming out of that state or even that city or just out of the school alone. It doesn't surprise me that these boys are headed nowhere very, very fast. And men, you should not raise your sons to be like this whatsoever.
Feminism, the class kind of appealed to me, the curriculum, and the reason I joined was because I kind of wanted to know what feminism meant.
My reason for taking the feminism course is that, especially in high school, there's not opportunities like this that come around ever.
My sister attends Lehman College, and over there she was taking a feminism course, a women's studies course, and she just seemed to really enjoy it. It was very new. I had never heard of women's studies prior to LREI.
What was your definition of feminism before taking the class? I didn't have a concrete definition of feminism before the class. I knew it wasn't really the perceived idea to the majority, which is that like feminism is all women and like a total hatred towards men. My definition of
I'm sorry, young man, but that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. The underbasis of feminism is to remove a patriarch. A patriarch is male leadership, male governorship. That's all a patriarch is. Okay? And that's why you have a lot of feminists out here where they're screaming at the top of their lungs, oh, well, these people are men. Men are rapists. Men are womanizers. And they lump you all together. Because that's the underground basis of feminism. Underground basis of feminism is a power shift. A power shift from the patriarch to the matriarch. Now, a lot of people say, and they hear this and they say, oh, well, is that such a problem? Maybe we should have women run the country. Maybe we should have a female president. Maybe we should have more female managers and more female this and more female leadership. Well, that's fine. But I went over a few Bible verses, okay, that it just shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. Because, see, majority of women that are in these leadership roles now, it's not working out well. I've seen businesses crumble single-handedly by women that were put in high positions that just did not know what they were doing because they were put into leadership positions by men that just weren't leaders. See, and that's the biggest problem now. See, you don't have great male leaders because you don't have great men. That's why. You don't have anybody teaching anybody. You have mostly people today just kind of grasping at straws and just learning off the whim. That's not a community. That's chaotic. When you have 12, 13-year-old boys and girls that's learning on their own, that's not good. I hear it all the time. Well, my 12-year-old, she's very smart. She's very smart. No, she's not. No, she's not. Why? Because she has a cell phone. She knows how to be on Google. And then we have to clarify what is being smart. We all have intelligence. Okay? Because see, most 12, 13, 14-year-old girls out here, they're out here sending nudes. And that's nudes, nudes. Yes, nudes, and on their cell phones to other boys. She can't be too smart. Because she could go to jail for distributing child pornography. So your 12, 13-year-old daughter can't be too smart if she's doing that. See, and I'm not coming down on people. I'm coming down on women and men who are raising boys to be like this, to just automatically declare themselves as feminists, and they really don't know the extent of what a feminist really is. Okay? A feminist is I heard this from another YouTube content creator, but you know, he's not too far off. All right, a feminist is a terrorist. You know? That's exactly what it is. You know? And like America, Sam B doesn't negotiate with terrorists or feminists because a lot of them, they have ideologies that no one agrees with. And if you don't agree with them, they'll blow your spot up. All right, feminist terrorists, same thing. All right, and a lot of feminists, they like to believe that a lot of feminists like to believe that it's all about the choice of the woman. It's all about the woman being able to be with her husband, the woman being able to do this, the woman. Well, okay, that's fine. The woman wants to be able to move around like the men is. They want to be able to move around unapologetically. The man is allowed to spread his seed cavalier, so the woman wants to be able to spread her legs cavalier. Well, let me tell you something, feminisms, ladies, whatever. Let me tell you something. The man shouldn't be allowed to spread his seed the way he wants to either. Okay? Because that's a problem in itself. It's a problem when men are just cavalier, like spreading their seed everywhere. But it's an even bigger problem when you got the woman spreading her legs to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that smiles at her. You want to know why? Because for the most part, the man spreading his seed everywhere, he most likely can't get every girl pregnant. Now, unless, you know, he's purposely out there doing that. But for a woman to just spread her legs for any old man that comes her way, that's a problem. That's an even bigger problem. Because, see, at the end of the day, that woman can end up pregnant. And if that woman is having sex with 5, 6, 7, 8 different guys, do you think she knows who the father is? I clearly doubt it. So now you have 8 guys that have to take out time out of their lives. So that means 8 different lives have to stop for 9 months until that baby come out, right? Until that baby come out. And they have to take a blood test. So for 9 months, 8 different lives, I'm sorry, 9, including the women's, 9 different lives for 9 months have to be put on hold because somebody couldn't keep their legs closed. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Now, of course, that's an extreme situation, an extreme scenario. But what is feminism? What has feminism really done for this country? Other than allow the woman to be more promiscuous, to be more troublesome, to be more quarrelsome, and you have more simple-minded men out here now more than ever. Because see, when you keep on relinquishing your authority and your manhood and your authority as being a man, you diminish everything it is to be a man in this society when you give it all to the woman. Okay? There's two different kind of hoods. There's womanhood and there's manhood. Both are not equal, but very necessary to have for an upright standing society.
Feminism was any woman who wanted equality between the sexes.
One of the biggest concepts we learned in the class was this idea of intersectionality. Intersectionality is the idea that feminism goes beyond just the equality for women. It's equality between races, gender, class, sexual orientation, and so forth.
And see, obviously, he has no idea what he's talking about. Someone's obviously lying to him, probably his mother or whatever woman is that's in charge of him. Feminism is all about the empowerment over the woman, the empowerment of the woman over the man. That's it. That's all feminism is about. And if these feminists were telling the truth, they say the same thing. But see, it goes against a lot of feminists and what they believe in. Because see, they can't overtly tell you what feminism is all about. So they have to disguise it as a civil rights movement. They have to disguise it as, oh, well, this is good for men too. Men need to understand how it is to respect women and treat women right and not to beat on them and not to rape them. Yes. Sam B, the Tune-Up Show, agrees with all that. But that's not the purpose for feminism. Because see, you don't have to call it feminism. Just call it the golden rule. Call it treat others the way you want it to be treated. It doesn't have to be called feminism. See, it has to be called feminism because there's another agenda behind it. Okay? Because you can call it anything else and everything else. You don't have to call yourself a feminist. You can just say, I'm a woman that deserves to be treated with respect and the utmost honor and and concerned. You can say that that's what you want to be. You don't have to call it feminism. And see, that's why that's the disingenuous aspect of feminism. Because there is an agenda within feminism. And like I said, and I will continue to say it, feminism is the power shift from the patriarch to a matriarch. It is the way for the woman to keep their foot on the neck of men they either despise or they're trying to extort financial funds from. Okay? That's all what feminism is about. That's the underground basis of feminism. All right?
When we wrote intersectionality essay, that taught me that nothing is really one-dimensional. Like, you can't just be black and be black and gay, or like black, gay, disabled. There are many different things.
See, and of course he's confused. He's very confused. He's supposedly a black gay man, but now he's a feminist. So he's all confused. You yeah, he needs prayer. That's what he needs. He needs prayer. And I'm not coming down on him. I'm not even making fun of him. I'm being very serious here. You have a young black gay man talking about he's a damn feminist. All right. So he's all confused. And most likely that confusion came from his mother or his father. Somebody that's like that and most likely more confused than he is. And they put that spirit of confusion on him like that. So he needs prayer.
And that don't relate to the master narrative set by in place by America. So that I would say that is the most important thing that I learned was that nothing is just one dimensional.
We've been doing a lot. I know we just moved into trafficking, sex trafficking, and amongst girls and amongst really any age of children. And then before that, we were doing things like harassment and acid attacks, which was pretty brutal.
What impacted the class?
Sex trafficking is another huge problem in this country, all over the world. It doesn't just affect women. And that's another disingenuous aspect of feminism, where they try to use sex trafficking as the moniker of why feminism exists. No, sex trafficking, that's done on everybody. Okay, they're sexually they're trafficking men, women, boys, girls, and a lot of times they're sex trafficking young women. They're sex trafficking young men at the same rate as young women. And the only reason why it's literally at the same rate, probably higher, is because most things that happen with little boys, they go very much unreported. Because most boys, they're not going to come forward and say that they were raped or they were this or they were that. They'll just show signs overtly and outwardly. You know, they'll start dressing different. You know, they'll start dressing more androgynous, or they may even take up the whole homosexual lifestyle altogether. Okay, it's on record that most boys that were sexually assaulted at young ages, a lot of time they end up becoming homosexual, and that's just what it is. That's just proof. You can look that up. But yeah, sex trafficking is another disingenuous aspect that feminism, they like to use as some kind of moniker on why feminism exists, to make it seem like sex trafficking is the only thing that happens to young women. And just like what he said, even the other guy before said that, it happens to young girls and, of all children. And then he goes into the various aspects of it. But no, it's happening to young women. It's happening to young boys, most likely at the same rate. All right. Whether you want to believe it or not.
Feminism opened my eyes to just so much in the world. There are a lot of things that I just didn't know about until I came to feminism, and it really just shocked me.
How do you see the world differently now?
Oh, just every time that you read a magazine, every time that you listen to a song, you can hear the misogynistic undertones.
And I've now changed. I've been able to change my silence into action. If I see something I don't like, I'm not afraid to speak up, and I'll address that.
So,
fully activated simps, fast people, fully activated simps. So here's your army. Here's your army of simps. And this was 7 years ago. So these kids were about maybe 15, 16, 17 years old. So I would say right now, they're most likely in their early 20s. So yeah, these guys, they're going to be, they're going to, man, these guys are in for a rude awakening, because these dudes, they're going to marry the first woman that shows any kind of leadership qualities over them. And most likely they're going to spend the rest of their marriage or the rest of their manhood being totally dominated by the woman that they're with. It is very unfortunate, but this is what happens, men, when you allow liberal women of society to raise your boys. Okay? Your wife, the mother of your child, is really the only woman that's supposed to be having this kind of this kind of leadership control over your son. All right? And that's if she is a capable woman to begin with. Because a lot of these women out here, they're not raising men to be respectful to women. They're raising men to be servants of women. All right. And I ask a lot of men that. They be the first ones trying to shoot me, trying to beat me up, trying to get me killed because I'm talking about their mama. And they're so fast to go into their mother's defense of their mother's honor. And, I say all the time, I say, hey, look, I don't mean any offense, but you can ask yourself, did your mother raise you to be respectful and cherishing women, or did she raise you to serve women? Did she raise you to be a simp for women? All right. And that goes into the church. Okay. You got these pastors. A lot of these pastors, they dare not speak on the women in church and what the woman is supposed to be doing and for the kingdom of God. They dare not. Okay. So when women say it all the time, there's no real men around. There's no real men. Well, guess what? They're right. There aren't any real men anymore because the men, they want to be up under the woman's skirt. There aren't any real men anymore. Okay? Just look on OnlyFans. Look on Pornhub. I'm not telling you to go look on these sites, but look at the viewership. Most of them are young men that are viewing this stuff. Because in their minds, they've been duped and indoctrinated and educated to believe that, hey, this is feminism. This woman is allowed to be married and still go out and do whatever the hell she wants. And the husband and or boyfriend is just supposed to like it. And they use these fictitious scenarios where the one guy that they had dealings with was allowed to have all these girlfriends and do whatever he wants. Let me tell you something. Any guys that are like that, believe me, those men were sought after most likely because either A, they got a lot of money or they got a lot of resources or they're pretty good looking cats. And a lot of you women, you go after men like that. So you can't keep blaming a man because it's something that you did on your own. But I digress. Let's get back to this.
A little bit after the class, me and Ileana teamed up again. We spoke at a conference for AAUW against the sexual harassment of students at school.
I would encourage a friend or a peer in joining the feminist movement because once again, it really does embody more than just equal rights for women, or it embodies more than just benefiting only women. It can help us all.
I really try to tell them that it is.
He doesn't even believe that himself. Look at his face. All that. Yeah. You see that? Whenever they tuck it in and their upper lip like that and they're just looking around for approval, he doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. And and this Leanna person, the person that's running this class, Feminism for Men, she's most likely a witch. And I'm saying that not because, I'm trying to trade, the B word for the W word. No, this woman, Leanna, is most likely a witch. The fact that she's allowed to even teach a class like that amongst all men, all right? And even in the Bible it says, Paul said in 1 Corinthians, I suffer a woman not to teach, nor to usurp authority over men. That's totally against the word of God right there. All right? So no, and no. And no again. There's no reason for a woman to be indoctrinating or even thinking she can educate young men on the ways and the will of the woman. Okay? This is serious. And men, if you know that your son or just little brothers or whoever, if you know that these are the kind of, this is something men need to be fully aware of, because you do have these young, confused boys that are out here running around calling themselves feminists. There's a man, I'll say his name, Kevin Samuels. He's running around telling people that he's a feminist. I do not agree with that. I do not agree that men should be calling themselves anything feminine. And of course, they like to disguise it like, yes, I do believe that a woman should have choice. Well, guess what? Everybody has choice. All right? It's called free will. That's the greatest gift God ever gave us. So to keep declaring and to keep screaming at the top of your lung, it's a female's choice. It's a female's choice. Well, you just sound like a jackass, because everybody has choice. Okay? Now, what feminism is that they want the choice to make the choices for men as well. And it doesn't work like that. You don't get to control the outcome. You don't get to choose the outcome. There is no multiple choice answer of outcomes. You don't get an A, B, C, D outcome choice in a society. No, you make your decision, right? You make your decision, and that's it. Whatever happens, happens because it happens based off of your decision and what you did and what you choose to do. You don't get to make decisions for men. Okay? And the reason why decisions were made for women, because women time has went on that they could not be entrusted to make decisions for the majority of men and women. Because when it came down to it, the woman only made self decisions for herself. That's why a patriarch had to rise. Not saying women are dumb, not saying that women aren't capable. There's plenty of women that are capable. But are they capable of running communities? Are they capable of running countries, companies? Because let me tell you something. There aren't that many female presidents or CEOs. Okay? You got vice presidents. You have assistants that are women that do a really good job. Don't get it wrong. They do a very, very good job at what they do. But it's under the leadership of a man. So don't sit here and tell me that you running a business, but yet that you the president, but you really the vice president. See, that's the problem we're having now with this Kamala Harris. She's walking around like she the damn president, and she the vice president. Or like Michelle Obama. You know, well, for the sake of conversation, we'll just call her a she for right now. I've already went over what I think she really is. But we're just, for the sake of this conversation, we'll just call her Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama's running around acting like she the damn president. The whole time Barack Obama, and that's how I know Barack Obama, you know, I don't understand what he was getting himself into. Because why is your wife running around, you know, acting like she you and you her? All right? This is a problem here. And you are not, as a man, we are not supposed to be raising our boys to be no damn feminists. All right? is wrong and is blaspheme.
I really try to tell them that it is a life-changing course. It'll test who you are as a person. It'll really impact you.
My definition would now be equality for all genders, but also for other oppressed groups.
My definition of feminism is anyone that believes in equality of any sort, whether it be gender, race, sexuality, that is what a feminist is. A feminist is not one-dimensional.
What do you see as the future of feminism?
Us. We're the future of feminism right now. That's why we have to keep the ball rolling. And I was asked a while ago if, as women, are they good? Or as feminists, are we good where we stand? And a lot of people said yes, I say no. There's still more work to be done.
And right there, he used what I like to call double entendre. He said, us. We are the future of feminism. Now, why would he say that? Why would he say us like that? Now, is he speaking from a black man perspective? Is he speaking from a man perspective? Is he speaking from the gay perspective? The LGBT? See, that's them being indoctrinated and educated on how to be disingenuous. Because see, movements like feminism, LGBTQ, okay, they don't have traditional family values. They don't have traditional specific roles to the genders. So everything with these kind of movements, feminism, even like MGTOWism, red pill, manosphere, and all that goofy goober shit. All right, all that nut stuff. All right, this stuff it has no real substance, and you can look at this. You can look at this guy's eyes. All right, you can look at his eyes, and you can just tell there's just nothing here. Okay, there's nothing here. He is a very dark, confused soul. That's why he answered like that, because he doesn't even know the future of feminism. And you know what? I don't blame him. He is a little boy. He is a very confused little boy whose father most likely failed and mother is failing him. Or it could be the vice versa. Okay? The mother may have left him and the father could just be a jackass. Who knows? But what I do know is that somebody failed this young boy at a very young age. And that's why he's somewhere in a damn school talking about he's a feminist. Because somebody failed him in life. His parents or whoever was in charge of him failed him. All right? Let's see if there's anything else here. Nope, that's it. And so I mean that's it right there. And that's just really what it's all about. Men, you should not raise your boys to be feminists. Do not, absolutely do not raise your boys to be feminists. Okay? If you want to teach a boy how to respect and cherish a woman, then you need to teach them how to be a man first. Okay? Because see, for you to be a great husband and a great provider, that means you need to prove that you can take care of yourself first. As a man, you need to put yourself first. Okay? That's why I don't agree with men getting married at young ages. I don't agree with men having children at a very young age. I don't agree with that. Because see, you're not really a man until you're about 25, 30 years old. Okay? Name how many 25-year-old men out here, that are functioning fathers. Okay? That's still not, looking for insight. You got 40, 50-year-old men that's still asking for advice. So how the hell you got 45, 50-year-old men out here that still need advice, but a 25-year-old, let alone a high school student, knows what's best for them? But you got 45, 50-year-old grown men and women out here that still don't know what the hell to do, acting like they shoe size instead of their age? Give me a break. Give me a break. All right? I'm 33 years old, and I still ask for advice. And I got one child. You know, I love my son to death. But, yeah, I could have waited. He knows that. I tell my son every day, don't even think about being a baby daddy. Because you got a world full of hell waiting for you. I don't care what that girl tells you. I don't care what she say. I don't care if she say, I love you, I love you. I don't give a shit. I don't give a crap. You keep it in your pants and get married. And if you can't help yourself, then strap up. Use a damn condom. But do not become no baby daddy out here. Now, for these boys, now like I said, this was 7 years ago. So they're probably in their early 20s, mid 20s, and most likely, I want to see if I can find some kind of recap, some kind of future recap on these boys to see exactly what's going on with them. But this will be first of many videos like this I'm going to do. I just saw this and it caught my attention, and and plus this video was made during the Me Too movement, which was another movement that was used to emasculate and extort men with money. All right. That whole Me Too movement. That's why, where did it come from? It came right out of Hollywood. Okay. It was used by a bunch of, very unattractive or very aging or career, their careers wasn't as lucrative as they used to be. It came from them. It came from those kind of women. That's why you had like a Gwyneth Paltrow. You had like Diana Ross's daughter. I forget her name. The girl that played off of Girlfriends. She was there. And they had Oprah. Doing this, and which is surprising. They had Oprah interviewing the whole Me Too movement. And what was surprising to me was I would think that Oprah would be in charge of it. But see, if you look at that interview, you can find an interview that Oprah was in that conducted the interview with them. And Oprah herself didn't even go along with it, because even someone as a man hater, a bigger man hater as Oprah Winfrey is, even she knew the Me Too movement wasn't really about anything. That's why she didn't get behind it. Okay? So I would say when it comes to these celebrities and they bring out all this feminism and all these isms and Me Too movement and Red Pill and MGTOW, all these things are full of simple-minded people who got their heart broke a long time ago and they just can't get over it. Okay? This has nothing to do with the masses at large. All right? People that are out here that are actually trying to find real, true love. They're actually trying to find a capable partner to be with, a husband, a wife to have children with. Okay? All these isms and all these movements, they have nothing to do with the regular person. They're all extremists. They're all Marxists in their own right. And a lot of it just needs to stop. But I think I've talked for enough in this video. That's the Tune Up Show. I'm Sam B. Peace.